45 minutes east of Vancouver, BC, in a grassy pasture alongside the coastal mountains, is the Ridge Meadows BMX Track. One of the longest running tracks in Canada, today it is the host of the BMX International. Hi everyone, I'm Tara Tagan out here at the Ridge Meadows BMX Track. This summer we're going to be bringing you a series of bicycle motocross racing. It's a sport that's been around for over 30 years, but just recently experiencing a resurgence with its acceptance to the 2008 Summer Games in Beijing, China. Hey, we got a couple different styles of bikes out here. For more on that, let's go to 2001 national champion Kevin O'Brien.
This is the basic BMX bicycle, most notably characterized by the 20-inch wheels. And attached to those wheels are a set of 20-inch knobbies, good to give you traction in the corner. Moving forward from that, we have the single speed, gets you good gate starts and a lot of speed on the track, and then your flat pedals. Okay, now we're coming to the frame. This is the standard A-frame. It's made out of chromoly. Some bikes, many bikes these days, are made out of aluminum. And moving up from there, we have the brake lever on the front and the number plate on the very front of the bike. Now, as you see, the number plate is very important in this situation. Peter's got a W2, that stands for World 2. His bike is a 24-inch cruiser, a little bit bigger than this one, kind of like the big cousin. It's got aluminum forks on there. It also has clip shoes and clip pedals. That's what makes the bike go just as fast. And this will be the bike that you'll see at the Olympics, the 20-inch style.
Thanks, Kevin. Riders today are not only competing for a cash purse, but also for points towards an overall world title. Back to Scott Russell.
Thank you, Scott. It's a gorgeous day out here at the Ridge Meadows BMX Track. Just a little bit of wind, but some nice sun, keeping these riders solar powered.
You're locked and loaded in the gate, ready for the big gate start. You want to get a nice snap out of the gate and strong first, second, and third pedals. Stay low over that first jump. Tiny bit of air going into the first corner over the doubles, and you want to keep a center line. As you pull out of that corner, you're going to hit a small camelback, stay low. Then comes the big section. A little bit of air here is going to get you some momentum coming into turn 2. Whoa, Nelly, don't go too low or too high. You want a center line as you set up for the rhythm section. It's long, it's technical. If you don't do it right, you're at the back of the pack, Jack. Coming into the last corner, you got to be careful who's behind you. Couple cranks out of the corner, stay low over the small tabletop. 2 small sets of doubles, and you're at the finish line with a checkered flag in your hand.
All right, our elite women are in the gate right now. We've got 4 competitors on course, and we're going to have 2 elite women motos. The first one is with Laurie Smith, Lindsay Rambo-Edwards, Sarah Bloom, and Carrie-Ann Brown. And the woman to watch here is probably going to be Carrie-Ann Brown.
She's in the middle of the track there. I think she's situated in lane 6. And look for her to get a good start. She's got the national #1 plate, so they're expecting big things from her this year.
Only 17 years old, coming out of Airdrie. Gets a good start, like you mentioned, but look at that, number 77, that's Sarah Bloom pulling ahead.
And it may have been a slip clip by Carrie-Ann coming out of the gate. I don't know, she had some difficulties there getting her foot back on, and she's going to struggle to pull up here as Sarah Bloom, the local, is trying to stay smooth and hold off the national #1 rider. She's in a tight spot right now.
Needs to be smooth over the rhythm section. Looks all right to me, Kevin.
As Cher rounds the last corner, she's going to need to stay smooth here. Carrie-Ann's picking up some big space, and it looks like she got a little bit too much air, bobbled, and leaves the door open as Brown is going to take the win. You can see automatically Sarah is very disappointed with that. She got a little loose and wasn't paying attention.
It was so tight coming up to the line, but now she has 2 more chances to take these motos and earn her spot in the main event.
All right, off the gate, all the girls had a little difficulty. There was one rider bumping off the gate. Sarah Bloom had the inside lane, very important on this track. It's tight and it's technical, so you want to get the inside lane and get over on those riders quick. She pulled it nicely through the technical section. Well, you watch, she starts to slow down a little bit as she struggles through the rhythm section. Carrie-Ann Brown pulls her back in the last straightaway as Sarah takes a little too much air and bobbles. And it'll be Carrie-Ann with the win on that one. Costly mistake, but Carrie-Ann's smiling. She's happy, and she's going to go take herself a breather for the next round.
All right, we have a second heat of elite women ready to go in the start gate. Now, definitely the woman to watch here is Samantha Cools. She has been killing it on the circuit and definitely an Olympic contender.
She is. She's one of the big wigs on the international scene. She doesn't spend a lot of time in Canada. She trains in the U.S. quite a bit, goes to a lot of races. And what we also have in this mix is the junior women. Today there weren't enough riders in their class to make a full class, so they're combined up with the big girls, and we're going to see if anyone here can give Samantha a run for her money today.
Okay, riders, let's set them up.
Could be possible. Christine Miller is in this
Riders
She's
ready.
been winning some
Watch the
races
gate.
in the state. And they are on course right now.
And indeed is Samantha Cools with a nice manual over the first jump. Got a little bit heavy in the front end, but that's all right. And we have the local Danielle Brisson and Christine Miller battling it out. These two girls, the junior girls, are hot on the heels right now of Samantha Cools as she airs it out.
Cools definitely impressing the crowd on those airs as well. So smooth that she puts a little bit more distance between her and number 2.
She does. You can hear the crowd getting excited about that one. The rest of the girls pretty happy and can keep the wheels to the ground as Cools will take it out, and Alberta's Christine Miller gets the 2 spot ahead of Danielle Brisson from BC.
That was an exciting race. So Cools holds on to that first place spot. Was it the start that really got her going there?
Yeah, look at the start. Samantha very, very strong. Hips to the handlebars. Very key to get a good snap out of the gate. As she does that, she got her friend on up a little bit high here coming into the first corner. Coming into the second section, she's going to air it out here, show the crowd what she's got while the rest of the girls stay low. Big air over the step up as she takes it on for the win here. No trouble with the last straightaway as you see Christine Miller in the background just trying to keep the 2 spot.
She looks so comfortable on her bike.
She does. She's happy.
My family back home. See you later.
Saying hi to the folks back home. We're back with our junior men. It's the second moto for these guys and 4 guys in the gate. Now each time they get in the gate for their motos, they switch up who they're competing against.
And the lane draws for them are random each time, so you never know what lane you're going to get. You could get 888, but thankfully the law of averages will tell you that you're going to get some good lanes there in the middle. So we'll see what happens in this one here.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
The 2 riders to watch in this one have to be Ward Pateman and Nick Gortson. That's Gortson in the red and Pateman in the yellow. They're good buddies. They race together a lot. On the track, things are going to change up a little bit here, and we're going to say Gortson taking it into the big section into turn number 2.
Now we had just a little bit of wind come up, and there's actually quite a lot of dust in that turn number 2 as well.
There is, and I think that the waterman should be on the track pretty quick to water that off. We have a big pass in the last corner as Pateman wants to get some points to qualify. Wasn't able to hold off Gortson for the final.
Now Payman actually might have blown that final because when he came around that last berm, he went outside the white line, which he's allowed to do, but not to advance.
That's right.
So he clipped outside the line and then he pulled into first. I think that was intentional.
I think it was, and off the gate, the 2 center riders, those are the ones to watch. We have Prince George in the yellow jersey, and we have Langley, BC. That's Gortson in the red jersey. As they come around over the Camelback, Gortson has command of this race, not exactly knowing where Pateman is right now because Pateman's basically tailing his wheel coming around into the rhythm section. As they go through there, Gortson let up a little bit, leaving the door open for Pateman, but Pateman didn't quite have enough energy to push the race through, and it'll be Gortson with the 1 spot on that one.
So that's how it finishes off. It's Nick Gortson. Hi, Mom. From the finish corral, Ward Pateman takes the 2nd place spot. Our next round of men, junior men, are in the start gate right now, getting ready for the timing bell. We've got Cody Bell, Scott Irwood, Patrick LaBelle, and Justin Gunlock. The 2 guys here to watch are going to be Irwood and LaBelle. They both finished first in their first round of motos.
That's right, and the big story here is going to be Irwood on the outside, earned the national championship last year without LaBelle in the lineup. So LaBelle does have something to prove. You see they've got a ton of space on the gate between them, and we're going to see a sandwich that's going to happen with those 2 riders in the middle are going to get a bit of a box, and from here on in we go.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
All right, what you did see Irwin with a very, very nice tight snap. LaBelle not quite as a good start, but he's a very, very track rider and he's got some space. Irwin holds it here into the big section, but watch for LaBelle passing in that dusty corner.
Not going for it quite yet. The battle right now is for 3rd.
And look at that, LaBelle very, very smooth through that section. Irwin knows he can shut it down. He's going to qualify and lets LaBelle take it over. That's something that you got to be aware of, knowing LaBelle managed to manual 3 or 4 jumps, and he picked up a ton of momentum by pulling those backsides, something that he's going to want to do in the main event if he can stay ahead of Irwood for the rest of the track.
The Finnish crowd looks like he's going, what are you doing? You didn't put the heat on me there.
Off the gate, a very, very clean snap. The white and black jersey of Irwood on the outside or the left of the screen. Got a good snap. Watch for LaBelle. He gets close here, but decides to tap the brakes and take a bit of a break. Coming up to the big section over the Camelback. Irwood in control here. Not sure what he's going to face when LaBelle gets in the rhythm section, and with LaBelle, with a bit of speed on through there, was able to pull through. And although it's qualifying, you know that Irwood took a mental note to not leave that much room and not leave the door open for LaBelle to get by next time.
So they have one more heat to go, one more moto. The first place spot in that one goes to LaBelle. Second is Irwood. Third, Gunlock. And last was Bell. We've got some more motos coming up right after this.
One of the most recent and most dramatic changes in BMX, technologically speaking, is the clip shoe and the clip pedal system. Now, I'm on a system here that has a flat pedal and a flat shoe. It gives me some traction on my pedal, but not enough on the backstroke when I'm coming around. And so we're going to take a look at Peter's bike. He's got a clip shoe system, and explain a little bit about what that does for BMX. All right, this is the system in a nutshell. Peter's got his foot on the pedal, and it's actually attached to the shoe, which is obviously attached to his foot. Now, Peter can clip out, usually at will, and we're going to show you how to do that right now. And when he does that, it exposes what the pedal actually looks like on the inside. It has very fine and tiny adjustments, whether Peter wants to run it very tight or whether Peter wants to run it a little bit looser so he's a little bit easier to pop out in the corners. That's the basic clip shoe in a nutshell.
All right, we've got elite men in the start gate right now. This is a pretty big heat. We've got 4 competitors on course. 2 men to keep your eye on are actually not from Canada. Jason Richardson from the US and Christian Bessarin coming all the way from South America. Venezuela, in fact.
That's right, and we're going to look for one of the local riders, John Land or Tyler Clark. They're a bit of the dark horse in this situation. They both have incredible natural talent. But we don't know if they have the first straightaway speed to keep up with the American or the Argentinian. So this is a good battle for the Canadians. You know, you're going to want to see that you want to be able to stay in the first straight with these guys. Otherwise, they're going to lose you through the rest of the track.
My bad. I had Venezuela in my notes. Argentina is where Bessarin is from. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, listen up.
Okay.
So the riders are in the gate. They're actually watching the gate to see when it falls. It's not the lights. There's a set of lights up there as well, and there's beeps to let them know. But they want to watch the gate to be really on point.
Some riders will choose the gate. Some of them will actually look just at the first jump and listen to the actual sound call of the gate. So some people react quicker to sound. Some will react quicker to visuals. What you do have in the 36 is a big gap between Aaron Lepp and John Land. We're going to see who's going to close the door first. And instantly off the gate with a power to spare is the Argentinian Christian Bessarin in the green jersey. And we actually have a BC rider, John Land, in the 2 spot. And Aaron Lepp as they go into the big section into turn number 2.
The battle right now would be that 2 spot.
And it looks like Land in the red jersey is a little bit smoother. This is his home track as Aaron Lepp, the 3 world rider, having a bit of difficulty, but he's got power. Land's going to hopefully hold on to 2, and we have the American coming on the inside, taking away Lepp's 3 spot.
That was a fabulous race. Bessarin way out in front. But as we thought, Richardson might have taken it, but he got a battle on for sure by Land. I'm going to have to wait to see how they line up across the line. I couldn't tell.
If you look on the very far side in the 1 green jersey, it looks like Richardson clipped out, leaving Bessarini all by himself for the whole shot into the first corner. And the surprise here, it wasn't Aaron Lepp, but it was the local John Land in the ProWorks jersey who got a good first straightaway and manages to hold off Lepp going into the rhythm section. As you can see, Bessarini no problem with the finish straight, and a battle going on for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th as the American Richardson managed to pull ahead of Lepp for the 3rd spot. All right, locked and loaded. We have a 2nd round the second rack of elite men. We're going to have to go with, from the Netherlands, that's Robert de Wilde. He's on the very outside lane. So if there's any chance for the Americans to get on the inside, or the Canadians to get on the inside, this is where it's going to be, because de Wilde has potentially the worst lane choice in this group, and it's all random when they get up to the start hill. So he didn't get it by winning a lap time. It's just a matter of luck of the draw.
Pulling out of the hat. Now when you're on the outside lane, that means you're taking the outside line coming into that first berm.
That's right, and when you look at the lines, you need to stay in your line till the bottom of the hill, and at that point you can pretty much move anywhere in the track. You can move over on a different competitor if you need to take your lane away. And we're going to look for possibly Tyson McRae and maybe even Evan McClellan, who's from Alberta, to challenge a little bit for the lead in this race.
So it's not only about speed and skill getting over the jumps, but there's a little bit of tactical difficulty in here as well with blocking riders on the berms.
That's right.
Here we go on the start.
Watch the gate.
As expected, huge pull from the Netherlands rider on the outside. It's Robert de Wilde to an early start, and that's going to be the Canada Cup champion, Tyson McRae, pulls out in the second spot. That's a good place to be right now. He's got a bit of room to move.
These guys spread out quite a lot more than the first round we saw. De Wilde way out in front right now.
And it looks like the battle right now is for the 4th and 5th qualifying spot. You're seeing Danny Joyce out of Washington and Everett Hoth from BC, and it looks like Hoth got a bit of speed and he's going to take it away from Joyce. This track is a little tighter, a little technical than some of the tracks you experience on the international scene. So it's good to be in the top 2 spots. If you're in 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
There's a look at de Wilde with his blonde locks. Good race for him.
Straight off the start, a big snap by the big guy from the Netherlands. No trouble getting over from lane 8 over to the middle of the track and squeeze out the rest of the riders. But it was McRae, a surprise start on that one, who spends most of his time these days on a mountain bike, out to the quick early lead on the second spot there, holding his way through. As you see, de Wilde taking on to the finish line, no problems there. And it'll be McRae and McClelland, who comes from Alberta, that are going to take in the top 3 spots on that moto.
So a good result right now. Robert de Wilde sitting in that first place spot on that moto. He has 2 more chances.
You can see now why they call him Afro Bob.
Right back with some more moto action from the Ridge Meadows BMX Track. We have elite women's moto number 46. That's in the total motos of the whole day, but they are in the gate right now, getting ready to start. Samantha Cools, once again, pretty much the one to beat, the one no one's going to beat today.
That's right. Unless something else happens mechanically or something else like that, she probably has the day sewn up. Christine Miller out there, I believe she is in lane number 8 in this situation, so she's on the outside looking in. She's going to see what it's like to get that outside lane right now and give Samantha a bit of a go. What you will see is a battle between her and Danielle Brisson for the second place supremacy.
Watch the gate.
Out of the start, good snap. Once again, Sam Cools, manual off the first and airs the second roller.
That's right. Out she comes, Cools with a comfortable lead. A good battle going in the background as Christine Miller struggles a bit to find her rhythm. And we actually have Danielle Brisson in the second spot. We got these 2 girls, as we said, they're going to be battling on. I think Christine's a little faster through the rhythm section as she is picking up some space as Samantha Cools takes around the finish line, looks back at the girls, says, hey girls, we're going to see you all in the main. And Brisson and Miller, a big battle to finish, and it'll be Miller, Brisson.
Looked like Brisson was going to take it, but Miller pulled up on her just on that second to last roller in there.
And Carrie Ann Brown, who's last year's junior national champion, struggled with that group. She's going to want to have a better race in the final there if she wants to stay with the girls.
Brown went down in the moto just before this, so I'm sure that she's got that a little bit fresh in her head. Good race for her.
She goes, Samantha. Nice gate, very smooth. She's just tucking low. She knows what she needs to do. A big pack of girls. Look behind her there. Brisson in the middle managed to come out clean out of that, and Carrie-Ann Brown actually was in third place until Christine Miller managed to reel her back in. Nice big air for Cools. Showboating, she shows off the bike style. The nice white Alberta jersey she's sporting today, and Brisson, Miller race to the finish line.
Miller had some great spin to move into that second place spot. Samantha Cools with some fans takes the first, and we'll head on to the main event. As the elite women head up and get ready in the start gate, we've got Laurie Smith. Christine Cannell is supposed to be in this one, but we didn't see her race earlier. Sarah Bloom and Lindsay Edwards.
All right, these girls, one of these girls needs to qualify. It's going to be Laurie Smith. She wants to make it into the main. There's a good chance she's going to do it here because one rider is missing, Christine Cannell, not in the lineup for this one. So hopefully Laurie can transfer through to the main. When the gate starter goes, we're ready for the call.
We have two heats of women elite here. We've got junior and elite riders mixed in together. So the junior category is 17 and 18 years old. The elite is 19 and over. And we've got a little bit of a mix in this one.
That's right. We're just waiting for the gate starter to drop the gate, and these girls are anxious to go.
Okay, riders, let's set them up. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Out of the gate, it's a little bit slow off the start, but Sarah Bloom pulling right out into that first place spot, followed close, not so close anymore, by Lindsay Edwards in the pink.
And Lindsay, she's been on her bike quite a bit. You can see her in the pink jersey back there. She needs a good transfer spot here to make it through. She's pretty happy to follow Sarah, but what Laurie Smith needs to do is get a better positioning here so she moves her way up. With Christine Cannell missing, that just might be the ticket for Laurie to make the main event as we see Sarah round out the last straightaway, getting a little bit of air, but she knows she had some mistakes there earlier, so she's being a little bit more careful and cautious.
And she's fine.
That's right.
She can be cautious. She's sitting in that first place spot with a good distance between her and Edwards.
Off the gate, Sarah Bloom. She knows this track well. She got a pretty good gate, and off and running she went. Down into the first corner, not a problem there. Lindsay Edwards was a little bit behind there, but Sarah seemed to stretch out the lead as she felt pretty comfortable on her home track. And you can see back Laurie Smith struggling to try to stay close to the pack. She wants to get that 2 spot, but hopefully we're going to see her in the main event today. And she has traveled all the way from Saskatoon for this one. She wants to make the girls' final today.
Having a look at our winner, that is Sarah Bloom right there. Heading on to the finals as well is going to be Lindsay Edwards and likely Laurie Smith. 7 women will advance to the main event. So we roll back up to the top of the track now, or the start of the track, I guess, and it is Patrick LaBelle taking on Ward Pateman, Nick Nemo, and Justin Gunlock. Once again, Patrick LaBelle took his first 2 motos. He's the guy in blue and white on the right-hand side of the screen.
So no question there with Patrick. He shouldn't have much of a difficulty with this moto. The rider you want to put a bit of attention on is young Nick Nemo. He's going to need a top 2 finish in this one if he wants to transfer on to the main event today.
It could be tough. This has been a tough heat, or all of these guys have been really giving her so far today. We've had a couple first place finishes. Justin Gunlock in the orange pants
riders,
took a 3rd, and they are ready to go.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
All right, no question off the start there. Looks like Patrick LaBelle with a nice hole shot, very smooth coming into the first corner with Ward Pateman sitting in the 2nd place position.
Once again, LaBelle getting way out in front. All the riders airing that last big, most difficult feature.
It is, and even Nemo cleared at that time. That's something he needs to do if he wants to carry on with his class, but today he doesn't seem to have the speed level to try to carry it through, so we're going to see LaBelle, followed by Pateman and Gunlock. They're going to make the main, and Nemo will be on the outside looking in today.
So that's 7 guys that go on to the main event, or the final rounds, and that was the first heat of men's junior men. We're going to have 1 more heat coming up.
That's right. Straight off the gate, no questions asked. Patrick LaBelle put the pedal to the metal, and off and running he went. Truly the race was actually just between Ward Pateman at this point and Justin Gunlock. They spread themselves out a little bit, and Nemo trying to fight his way in there. He did jump the big section, good for him, but no chance to really get back in on the speed-wise in this class. As we see LaBelle, he rounds the corner, couple of smooth style jumps, and away he goes. And he's on to the main event final. And away we go.
So that will be LaBelle moving on. We have Pateman in second, Justin Gunlock in third. He'll make it to the main as well. And Nick Nemo heading to the bleachers to watch this one. We head back up to the top of the course as our second junior men's moto gets underway. Matt Yoyston is in there along with Nick Gertzen, Cody Bell, and Scott Irwood.
You're right, and I think the battle you want to watch here again are the friends here. It's going to be Scott Irwood. He's sitting in the middle lane there. It's lane 4, and we have Gertzen sort of near the outside in lane 7 to the left of the screen. They're friends. They love to race together. Let's see what's going to happen between these two guys today here off the gate as the starter drops the gate.
Okay, riders, let's set them up. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
As they get out right off the bat, it's a good snap, and Scott Irwood pulls right into the lead on the first straight. Nick Gertzen is battling for that first place spot.
That's right, they're going over the big section, a little bit of showcasing going on. You can see Gertzen wants to show off. He's taking mental notes all along the way. Watch here, they're going to try some different methods through the rhythm section to see what works best. So far it's been LaBelle's manualing that's been the strongest there, so Irwood and Gertzen. And what you're seeing now is a couple of the riders trying to get position. That looks like Matt Yoyston. He needs some points to transfer and had to go right to the line with the big boys.
So Irwood took it across the line. It looked like in that last berm that he had a little look back, trying to see which direction he needed to go to block the other riders.
That's right, Nick Gertzen not as strong off the start on this one, has been the case all day. He may be able to put it together in the final, but Irwood, no questions there. A nice clean snap and had the race under his control at that point. He's just playing around a little bit. Let Gertzen get onto the right of the screen there. He wanted to see what he's got. And then the two boys showboating for the cameras, taking the race home.
Style points, but it's all about speed right now. There's the little look back I mentioned.
Yep. Pretty happy to take that one. They're just going to cruise to the finish line. You can see the 4 plate back there. That's Matt Yoyston. Needed to get between those guys and couldn't quite make it. So maybe on the bubble for the transfer spot today.
So we'll look at our top 2 results. Scott Irwood and Nick Gertzen took 1 and 2. Matt Yoyston in third, and it was Cody Bell rounding it up in that 4th place spot.
And here we are lined up on the gate right now. We have the last rack of the elite men's group.
That's Tyson McCree, Jason Richardson, Tyler Clark, Evan McClelland, Danny Joyce, and John Land. So we have 2 elite men's motos. 8 men will be going on to the main event.
And I think we're going to focus our attention on lanes 7 and 8. We have lane 7, that's Tyson McCree. If you remember, he went off the track in his last qualifier. He's going to need to pick up a top 3 placing in this moto if he wants to go on to the main final today. Also,
okay, riders,
we're on the bubble for Danny Joyce, who's in lane 1 in the red and whites.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
It's a tough start. It looks like Jason Richardson getting into the hole shot in the green jersey.
Yeah, that's right. The green jersey's ahead right now. That's going to be the local John Land on the red and white jersey there with the Maple Leafs in second, and McClellan, a surprise out of this moto in third. Danny Joyce, Tyson McCree, and Tyler Clark are battling it out for the 4th, 5th, and 6th. You're seeing Tyson McCree make a big move in the last corner. He needs that qualifying spot as Richardson takes it through with Land, McClellan, and we don't know if that's going to be enough for McCree to qualify through. We're going to let the finish line judges decide that for us.
Maybe he heard you up here because he really put the heat on in that one, knowing that he had to get through.
Oh, that must have been it. So straight off the gate there, not a great gate for McCree. He got boxed out right away. It was Land, who's been proving himself against the big boys today, and Richardson leads his way out as you see Land in the 2nd spot, and then we got a battle going on between McClellan and Joyce. Joyce gets a little loose in this section, opens the door for McClellan on the inside, but no problems for Richardson as he takes it through. John Land picks up the 2 transfer spot. McClellan and then McCree fought back for the 4th and hopes he's going to be in the main today.
Could have been the toughest battle so far, but we have the main events yet to come up.
I'm allergic to something.
Our final round of elite men here in the motos. The qualifying rounds contains Dean Toes, Christian Besserine, Aaron Lepp, Everett Hoth, Robert DeWild, and Adam Moyes.
That's right. And we got the inside lane. We got a bit of an international sandwich going on here. We'll see DeWild coming out of lane 1, and you're going to see Besserine out of lane 7. They're going to come, as soon as they get to the bottom of that hill, they're going to close the gap a little bit. So we're going to see which Canadian can pop out of that mix and hopefully take a 3-spot beside the 2 international riders. The ones to watch here that are on the bubble, on the transfer spot, have to be Everett Hoth and Dean Toes and Adam Muse, all with the red and white jerseys. They're right in the middle lanes there. Those guys need great placings to go, so we'll see what happens on which Canadian wants this one more than the other.
Each time the start gate goes, it's the exact same noise and sound, so the riders know what to be ready for.
Timing is crucial.
Okay, riders, let's set them up. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
It is a battle right now between Besserine and DeVille. Besserini gets, passed.
He shuts it down. He's going to save his energy. What you're seeing now is Aaron Lepp out of Alberta giving Robert DeWild a bit of a run for his money, and Adam Muse looking for the 3-spot in this qualifying round as Dean Toes and Everett Hoth battle in the back of the pack there. As we see DeWild, no problem in this one, but Lepp needed the qualifying points, as did Muse, picking up the 3-spot here.
DeWild also taking it easy across the line. So Besserine and DeWild feeling really comfortable in that race. They already know that they've qualified on for the main event, so they just pretty much chilled.
Yeah, they are. They're very, very strong down the first straightaway, so they know they just wanted to make sure their gate timing's correct, that they have the first straight wired. After that, it's pretty much just a bit of tactics and a bit of speed, but you can see the 2 boys going there as Besserine on the left-hand side of the screen just shuts it down, opening the door for the C2 Aaron Lepp bike to get in there in the mix. Adam Muse was on the bubble. That 3rd place might have been just enough for him to transfer today.
Stick around for some more bicycle motocross.
So with the qualifying motos wrapped up and we're heading into the main event, do you think there were any big surprises out there for you?
Tara, no, there weren't too many big surprises today out there. The international riders had a pretty easy way into the main event today. What we did see were a couple Canadians, John Land and Aaron Lepp, really pushing the limits today. You can tell those guys have been doing a little bit of training, and they want to get as close as they can to those Americans coming into the first corner in the main event.
It used to be that riders could really rely a lot on natural talent, but as you mentioned, a lot of training going on now, especially leading into the Olympics.
Yeah, I think a lot of the riders are really starting to understand the commitment of getting to the Olympics and having to train 4 or 5 days a week in a bit more of a regimented pattern. So I believe that as a rider, you really need to love the sport, you need to love being on your bike full time, but you also need to be there to be dedicated to your training program, knowing that you have to put the hours in for the payoffs in the end.
So it's no longer that you can come out and just ride the track a couple times a week and take home the gold. Right now, let's see who's going to get the gold in the main event.
So our junior men are in the start gate getting ready for their main event. This is the final round. From here, we will determine a winner. We've got 7 men in this heat. In lane number 1, it's going to be Nick Nemo managing to work his way in to the main event. In lane 3, Nick Gertzen putting it on plate number 1. In lane 4, it's going to be Patrick LaBelle. He's had some great motos already today. In lane 5, Justin Gunlock. In lane 6, it's going to be Scott Irwood. And 7, it's Ward Payman, also with some strong results against LaBelle a lot earlier today. And in the lane 8, on the left side of the screen, Matt Yoyston.
Riders to watch here are going to be lane 4 for LaBelle and lane 6 Irwood, but don't count out little Nick Gordson in lane 3. He's got some flash, and if he can get his gait together, he could really mix things up today.
Okay, riders, let's set them up. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
And in the back, I know who that is. So far, Nick Nemo is out of there, but moving into that first place spot, Scott Irwood with a great start.
Irwood did have a great start. LaBelle, he's a pack rider. You're going to see him move up a little bit here in the 2 spot. Gordson, as expected, is in the 3, and then Pateman in the 4. But the race right here, and LaBelle just lost it a bit. He got too far out the back of his bike, but he makes a big move in the last corner, blows a clip, and he is unable to get back in as Irwood takes it through. And LaBelle tries to hang on against Gertzen for the 2nd and 3rd positions. That was a crazy finish to that race, Tara.
In that final berm, there was a lot of bumping going on. Now, I don't know, is that allowed? What's going on?
Yeah, as long as the riders can make contact in there, as long as it's not intentional and they're not intentionally trying to T-bone someone. We're going to take it here from the top. Gertzen actually had the good gait but it was Scott Irwood, you'll see in the white and red at the left of the screen, who had the first straight pull, and LaBelle got stuck on the outside here, but he made no mistakes as he passed Gertson coming through. Now watch, Irwood takes a bit of air here, a little bit more in the step up, and you can see waiting in the wings is going to be LaBelle. He's going to try to pass him, no luck in the last corner, as Irwood holds his line, and LaBelle actually comes out of his clip shoe, leaving Irwood to take the #1 spot today as LaBelle tries to hang on against Gortson in the final.
So the winner taking the gold in the main event of the junior men today will be Scott Irwood. In the second place spot, Patrick LaBelle, and taking home the bronze medal will be Nick Gertson. Now we head up to 7 women in the main event of the elite women. We've got elite riders and junior riders in this race. All of these women pushing the limits of BMX.
That's right, and we're going to probably see Samantha Cools not having a lot of trouble with these girls, but I think you're going to find that the junior women are going to find their way into the 2nd, 3rd, and possibly even the 4th place positions today. As we pan across the gate, we see Danielle Brisson, one of the local favorites, Sarah Bloom also from this track as well. So watch these girls in the main event final today.
So Sarah Bloom and Daniel Brisson taking on Christine Miller, Samantha Cools, Carrie Ann Brown, Lindsay Edwards, as well as Lori Smith in this round. And we focus in right now on Samantha Cools getting ready.
Okay, riders, let's set them up. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
They're out of the gate, and it is Samantha Cools with a great start, but she's followed close and putting the heat on. Looks like
Christine Miller pulled off a good start off of that one, leading her little local nemesis, I guess, would be Danielle Brisson. So it's going to be Miller right now, pulling up a bit of space on Brisson. In the 4th, that's going to be Lindsay Edwards in the pink jersey. As you see them coming through the rhythm section, Cools no problem here, and Miller in control of the race. It's hers to lose for 2nd place as Brisson tries to go on the inside, but Cools will take it through as Brisson, the 3, Miller the 2 spot, and it's going to be a battle for 4th, and I think it's going to be Lindsay Edwards in the pretty and pink today as she takes the 4th spot in a tough junior women and an elite women combined class.
That was pretty tight across the finish line. Samantha Cools, the one thing you'll notice about her as we check out the replay is that she pretty much airs everything.
She does. She knows she's very, very comfortable in the air. She's actually jumping bigger stuff in the U.S. when she does it, so this stuff is a little bit smaller for her. No problem here as she comes through the 2nd straightaway. In the background, you can see Brisson trying to pull up some space on Miller. Not much of a chance at that point. She bobbles a little bit there, and Edwards in the back 4 trying to hold off that place for the 4th position. She'll take it through the final here, Samantha Cools. Christine Miller will take the #2, and Danielle Brisson rounds out the top 3.
So there's a look at Samantha Cools. She is definitely a contender for the Olympics as she is racing so well internationally, and here today takes the gold in the elite women's category.
Basically, when I get on the gate, I just shut off everything that I'm thinking about, because you can't be thinking about too many things. It's just going to screw yourself up. So once you get on that gate, shut your mind off and just let your legs and body do the work.
The elite men are ready in the gate right now. We've got a full moto here, so 8 men going right across the start.
All right, in lane 1, that's Aaron Lepp out of Alberta. Lane 2, that's Jason Richardson from the USA. Lane 3, John Land, the local boy. In lane 4, Christian Besserine from Argentina. Lane 5 from the Netherlands, that's Robert de Wilde. Lane number 6 in there, that's got to be Evan McClellan from Alberta. Lane 7, that's Adam Muse on the red and black and white. And over to lane 8, last but not least, Tyson McCrae.
So a couple of these guys are really good starters, and a couple of them are good pack riders, which is going to be important when we have a full moto like this.
It's going to be huge. Watch for the green jerseys to jump out for a quick lead. Also, DeWild's going to be in the mix. He's in lane 5. Watch for him in the white jersey. But the interesting story here is going to be see which Canadian can slip into that top 3 and possibly top 4 today.
Okay, riders, let's set them up. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Big snaps. It's very, very tight in this race. You are seeing the 2 green jerseyed riders. It's going to be Besserine, the Argentinian, takes the lead right now from Richardson from the USA, and it's no surprises as DeWild's in the 3, but we got a battle going on for 4th, 5th, and 6th, Tara.
It sure is. Right now, it is, looks like John Land in that 4th place spot, pulling ahead, getting a little bit of distance on those rest of the competitors.
Land very close in this race, followed by Tyson McRae
And it's
in there.
Besserine across the finish line.
That's right. So the international riders, no problem in that main event. John Land, the top Canadian, with a great 4th place finish just out of the podium, but he must be pretty happy with his event, with his performance today.
That was a really tight race, and it started, as you mentioned, with the 2 green jerseys right off the start.
It looks like DeWill didn't really get a good snap off the gate. He had a bit of company there, but rode a nice solid line in the first corner. As you see, the 2 Crouper riders coming out. It's Besserine on the left side of the screen, and that's going to be Richardson on the right, and DeWill kind of tucked in the backside there. And then a bit of space before you see the first Canadian. That will be John Land, who carries it through the rhythm section, looking pretty smooth. And McRae, who almost didn't make the final, puts in a nice performance for the 5th, or the 2nd top Canadian of the day.
So we lost Lepp early on, but across the line it was Besserine in 1st place, taking the silver medal, Robert DeWild, and in 3rd place, taking the bronze, Jason Richardson. The top Canadian today, John Land. It was a gorgeous day for racing here at the Ridge Meadows Track in Pitt Meadows, BC. With Kevin O'Brien, I'm Tara Tagan. Hope you'll join us for some more bicycle motocross when we cover the Canadian National Championships live from Airdrie, May 18th.